All right. Good morning. Ooh, we're starting on the rocket today. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff indeed. All right, I've got a lot of exoskeletons here. Let's get rid of them. There we go. Have anything else to put in here? I've got night vision. I've got a personal roboport. Oh, solar panels. I'm pretty sure I don't need them though. Maybe another battery. I think we're fine. Like this, yeah. Ooh, I need to start crafting some construction robots. Like automating it, I mean. Maybe. That's probably fine. Alright. What do you need? Rocket control units, low density structures, and rocket fuel. Rocket fuel will probably not be a problem. Alright, so I'm thinking we start extending these. Something like this. Alright, let's... No, we want one here. We start from the top. That is it, right? Yes. And we can take a splitter here. And we'll have another exit there. And another one right here. Is it? It's making me happy. Yeah, they're all working. So what we do then is that we remove these. Alright, we want to have multiple lines here, like... Do we want to max them out? Like this? Right. And then another one. Oh. Cat is having a rough time lately. I hope he's feeling well. I think he is. Something like this is probably fine. Oh, right. Damn it. I missed one. Missed one indeed. Alright. Ah, damn it. Did that green line right here. That is so annoying. Right. Gotta fix it. Gotta fix it. Hope that won't screw up my drawing lines. Alright, this is not okay. Let's do it like this instead. Why are you working so slow? Is it just because it is slow? Power is... Yeah, power is super fine. Look at all that production. They're just super slow. Do I need to... Probably want to extend this more. Like all the way over. Yeah, let's do that. Oops. Well, more than this, I suppose. Suppose I could make them all into upgrade. All of these. Yeah, I think so. Oh, hello, Banana Waffle Monkey. Nice to see you again. How are you doing? How's the team working out? Did you get a structure of rules? Started having any good competitions? Upgrade all of these things. Oh, nice. Banana Waffle Monkey says, pretty good. We had our first scrim last night. That sounds great. We got destroyed, but more importantly, we got a baseline of where we're at. Yeah, right? Start from the bottom, work your way up. That's not super surprising. Yeah, let's upgrade all of these. Well, maybe not all of them. I don't know if I have enough yet. Where's this? Can I see? Oh, wait. Do I have 1,000 of them? It looked like I had 1,000 of them, so I probably can upgrade all of them. There we go. Alright, we're upgrading all of them, and there's one thing more I was thinking of doing. Oh, right, I need to run over to the other train spot. To the other light oil spot. Since we are using all of it now, I don't want to make it into petroleum. I need to turn that a little bit off. Right here. See, these fellas are working, and I don't want them to. Not right now, at least. Because these should be... Yeah. That's what I thought. A little bit backed up on petroleum. There's a problem here with the plastic. So we'll fix the plastic. Oh, did you have fun scrimming? Like... It's gotta be feeling like a little bit of raiding. Like, I haven't PvP'd like that at all. But I'm thinking it's probably comparable to the times that I have raided in like MMOs, where you get get your ass beat by a boss over and over and over again, but still having a good time. I don't know what Mike says. Yeah, we still had fun. Nice. Nice. Wait, what color is this? Oh, it is red. Need to increase the throughput here, I think. So, this one is working fine. There's no train here. Why not? We have one train here. What's this? Oh, that's a copper train. So, how many? Alright, I still have not learned how to look at these trains well enough. Banana Wolf Monkey says, we did manage to take one game, and we did win a couple of team fights. Nice. I'm guessing it was a learning experience. Ah, there we go. Yeah, number of stops with this game, number of trains at this stop, and I can see where they all are. Yeah, waiting at North 1 Copper. And I can click this, and it's waiting. Can I click this? I can click this. And it's going right here. Perfect. Only problem I see with this system, and I don't even know if I should consider it a problem, but it is that I need to, every time I want to expand, I need to expand both directions. Which is fine. It's fine to expand both directions, I suppose. Just not to screw up the train queuing system. Banana Wolf Monk says, yeah, we debriefed after. When you're scrimming, do you take... is there pauses in between the games, or do you just go for, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours, and then you debrief after? And that's the problem, right? Scrimming against other people. Raiding is fine, because we could just, whenever we wanted, we just took a break and talked about stuff that we felt were important to talk about, but you have to postpone that whole thing, right? Banana Wolf Monkey says, yeah, it's just go. And yeah, required to take videos from our point of view to analyze after. Yes. That makes sense to me. Learning experience. Alright, so... let's go up here. You see my lovely spider, by the way? I built this yesterday. Finally, I've never played with that in this game before. Love it. Oh, can I walk straight over this? I can walk straight over this. Oh, man. All of this is... Can't access this. You have to run along these lines. Now I can just go, go, go. Wonder if I want to concrete the whole place. I can probably put another train station here. There's so much copper around, especially with this one over here. I'm guessing that analyzing part is also part of the fun of the game, of being in a team. Alright. Well, what if we do it like this? Or even like this? I think this will be fine. Wait. Actually, then I would want a blueprint out of this. Oh. Yeah, but it doubles up. I would have to do... No. Now I would want to have just a... Oops. Probably like that. Oh, yeah. All right. Part of the fun indeed. And let's set it up this way. Oops. All right. And with this setup, it doesn't matter that much if I miss a beat or something. I have room for failure. Actually, I can just do this. Last but not least. All right. So how much time do you take for the team, and how much time do like the super pros? Is it like a full-time job kind of? Well, I'm guessing you still have time for your studies. Hmm. But on Wolf Monkeys is not really sure how much time I've been spending, but I've been getting through school fine. Nice, nice. I'm guessing it'll take. You're probably not going back to Path of Exile in the next league then. All that scrimming. Oh, look at this. I had missed a bit. I'm pretty sure I need more of these. I always have too few, so bring 98 with us at all times. That's probably fine. Banana Waffle Monkey says, nah, next league corresponds with summer. Ooh. I'll have an abundance of free time. Oh, that sounds lovely. Lovely indeed. So we copy this. Wait, no. Let's go here. Has there been any news on what the next league is going to be about? Another train station. Hmm. Right. It's easier said than done, eh? Whoops. A little bit easier to move as this dude than the spider, but like traversal with the spider is so much better. Hmm. I've actually been missing Path of Exile a little bit lately. Been playing not a lot of action-y games, I don't think. Oh, are you kidding me? I'm in the mood for some action, I think. I'm pretty sure the next game on the list is gonna be some sort of action game. I've been considering like The Witcher 1 or Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice or something like that. I don't know. Banana Wolf Monkey says sniff sniff. Lurkers come out. I can smell you. Oh man, Banana Wolf Monkey. I'm a lurker when I watch Twitch. I wouldn't want to get called out like that. Yes indeed. Yes indeed. Oh, we're getting rid of some junk, eh? Yep. Yeah, copper. We are working on copper, and copper is the issue. This Spider-Man is running in a straight line over everything. I love that. Oops. It's a little bit wobbly. Wonder if there's a reduce wobble kind of thing. It feels like playing with a regular character. Probably not. Alright, so I think this is fine with the setup now. Now the copper is coming. All of it is coming. It's going over here. It's going on here. And it's going in all of the chests. The only thing we need to do is copy this name and put it there. Actually, even thinking that I can do this. Yeah, that's looking great. Alright, so I've got 3 stations here now to do all the things. So I need a new station. Oh, gotta set up a radar here. And a radar here. Yeah, let's set up 2 radars. Then we go south and put up an extra station up there. Probably fine. Missed a little bit here, but that's okay. This is looking okay, I guess. There's not a lot of red circuits going on. That's a plastics issue. Ooh, I wonder if the plastic thing is an actual plastic issue. No. Alright, it's time to upgrade this whole line. So we go from here, and we go right here. Right. Should speed up the plastics a little bit, I'm assuming. Alright, looking good, looking good. You were creating way more plastics. Colgate Tab says, you can be the first person ever to criticize what others think of as uncriticizable. Alright, you can be the first person to ever criticize what others think of as uncriticizable. That is inspiring, Colgate Tap. If I've ever, yeah, that is properly inspiring. Yeah, that's a good find. Good find indeed. We did hear one, like was it yesterday or the day before? We did hear something inspiring before, so it's not the first time, but it's one of the better ones I've heard so far. Well, it's one of the one that I have enjoyed the most. Oh yeah, no, whoa, it was the other one. Don't become a slave to the sunshine of your own ideas. Something like that, right? That one was really good as well. Colgatino Tab says, I can't think of any examples, though, about what others think uncriticizable. Exactly, that's why it's inspiring, right? It's difficult, it's something difficult that you can do. Something that you could achieve. If that makes sense? That you could achieve finding something like that. I mean, we could try. What would others consider uncriticizable? I mean, usually, like, people oftentimes when they think about like, that is a little bit similar to, like, people who have this idea that morality is not subjective and it is objective. Like, it's a similar kind of deal, if that makes sense. There are similarities, right? Some people can find something uncriticizable, and if you can find a way to criticize it, then you've made a great success. But what could we criticize? Well, ethics seems not the way to go. Oh man, finding your own biases, finding like a bias that everybody has, that's, oh man. Difficult task indeed. Where is this? Ah, I've seen a mistake that I've made here somewhere. Is this it? Here we go. That's step 1, and this is step 2. Alright, way better. Banana Waffle Mug says pizza. Colgate Tab says that pizza has been criticized already, yeah. I mean, have you heard the memes about the pineapple on pizza? That's pineapple on pizza being criticized, not pizza itself being criticized, I suppose. Yeah, it's unhealthy for, like, that's one criticism I can imagine about pizza. What is happening here? Why is this? Oh man, I just assumed that I didn't need this anymore, but I do need that. That's super interesting. Alright, is that gonna be enough? Like pizza ass. Alright, however, what if we take that a step further? And we criticize the concept of food, like give a critique on food as a concept. Now, that has been done as well, right? Oh man, if we could just live off of pure sunshine, life would be way easier to deal with, right? Rather than having to go through the food eating process, finding food and stuff like that. Or like eating grass like the cows, we could just go outside and eat some stuff rather than having to farm and hunt and making a big fucking deal out of food. But so that's nothing new either. Nanowaffle says the base experience of pizza is universally loved. Bite me. The base experience of pizza is universally loved. I mean, probably, right? There are people probably all over the place that do like pizza, and there's probably people who don't like pizza. And that, as far as I am aware, is the same no matter what culture you would be in, I suppose. I wouldn't fight you, no. But it's still, like, criticizable. Well, it doesn't say everybody else think of as uncriticizable. It just says what others think of as uncriticizable. It doesn't say everybody, no. Man. Ooh. That is a sneeze. Oh, man. Colgatino Tab says, I was thinking about some high-level math, but it hasn't been criticized because people don't know about it rather than they find it uncriticizable. Yes, right. I can get behind that, but like science doesn't really work like any science concept. Oh, like because science is about criticisms in some sense, isn't it? That's like the point, kinda. Wait, will they upgrade? Oh, they will upgrade. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, kinda the point of science is the criticisms, skepticism, and all that part. The peer review process. I mean, criticizing religions is nothing new. Some people find that uncriticizable, but I mean, we do that all the time here. That's really nothing special. Alright, we're still not getting enough petroleum. But all of these are working, right? No? Oh. Still not using enough advanced oil processing. Oh, because of the chests are full over here now, I'm assuming. Yep, chests are full. How many do you need again? Oh, I can't. Right, since the chests are full. Right. Oh, and I've maxed out these. Do I want to make even more of this then? Because we're not getting enough petroleum. Yeah, we're not getting enough petroleum, so that would mean that getting more petroleum is a good idea. Wait, why are you not working? Oh. Look at that. Our power consumption is just fine. Let's double up on this bullshit. So right here probably? I'm guessing this is kind of necessary though. Yep. Cannon. Well. Put it right here. And then this is probably fine. Yeah, that's probably fine. Alright. Colgate InnoTab says, I have a job interview today. Oh, congratulations. Well, good job, I think would be more appropriate. But good luck on the interview. Yes, indeed. Hope it goes well. What kind of job are you looking for? This has to be water. Let's grab the water from... from here, probably. Alright, we got some water going on. Colgate InnoTab says selling insurances. Oof. That does not seem to be aligned with your politics, I don't think. I'm guessing it's just over the summer. Maybe? There we go. More of them. Colgate InnoTab says, yeah, it's not very proletariat. I need to double check that word. Proletariat. Maybe we should read some Marx. I haven't read a lot of Marx. I'm guessing that is public domain. Proletariat from the Latin proletarius. Producing offspring are the social class of wage earners. Those members of society whose only possession of significant economic value is their labor power, their capacity to work. A member of such a class is a proletarian. Marxist philosophy considers the proletariat to be exploited under capitalism, forced to accept meager wages in return for operating the means of production, which belongs to the class of business owners, the bourgeoisies. Marx argued that this oppression gives the proletariat common economic and political interests that transcend national boundaries, impelling them to unite and take over power from the capitalist class, and eventually create a communist society free from class distinctions. Oh, I thought Marx was a sociologist rather than a politic. I didn't think Marxists had such strong political views. I thought Marx was just describing this is what it looks like, rather than telling, oh, this is what we should do. It's a little bit of nasty rhetoric also in here, right? Oppression, these interests, like impelling them to unite and take over power. Like, these are all very opinion-based statements, right? They are not at all is statements. These are ought statements. Yeah. Argued. That's the operative word, I suppose. So what happened? And also this is like a very binary splitting up. What about lower, middle, and upper class? How does that suit in here? And also, like, that book, it has been super influential. The what is it called again? I've been talking about it before. The Swedish statistician. He's been talking about like splitting it up even more in different ways. Yeah, economic power. He's been super focused on economic power. Oh man, I didn't see you there, Adventure 95. In my chat, you and Banana Waffle Monkey had the same name. So nice to see you, Adventure 95. How are you doing today? He was the one saying good luck on the job interview earlier. And Adventure 95 continues saying, to me it's odd when people confidently pronounce a Finnish or Japanese word wrong. I mean, what's wrong about a pronunciation? Like you can say water or you can say wa, and both of those are considered correct pronunciations. Or you can say water, and that would also be considered a correct pronunciation. I don't quite understand Adventure 95. I think you mean to say that you find it odd when people confidently pronounce a Finnish or Japanese word not from any of the dialects that you are used to or accents that you are used to. calling them wrong is kind of rude, I would even say. Adventure 95 says it is not too hard to learn how to mimic the way native says it. But, I mean, Sweden is a super small country. There are, like, if I go, like, just take the car and drive that direction in 30 minutes and go around talking to people there, they all pronounce things differently than what I do. Right, Adventure 95? Just 30 minutes that way. Talking with them. There's so many things that we pronounce differently. So, I don't know. Like, I've argued, like, I like different English accents for different reasons. I like the Scottish one and the Irish one because they sound nice. But I think my favorite one just is it this like the Netherlands? I think the Netherlands, or is it Switzerland? Fuck, I don't remember. One of those countries have like it sounds like a super clean accent that is super easy to understand. But it does not sound like the American or the British or the New Zealand one. So they are not native English. Adventure 95 says, but the water example is in the same language. There is an objectively correct way of pronunciation. Of course there isn't. Of course there isn't. Of course there isn't no objectively correct way of pronouncing something. Banana Wolf Monkey says the English major says no. Yes, there is, says Adventure. Well, I heard this. I don't know how true it is, but I heard someone say, and I heard an English professor say that a lot of hardcore, what's that dude called again? Romeo and Juliet, the author. Hardcore fans of that play author says that they prefer to listen to plays from Americans because the Americans' dialects, accents are more similar. Shakespeare, there we go, are more similar to what the accent was on Shakespearean times than what the British accents are nowadays. Like, it changes over time. All languages do. It's actually a fairly recent thing that it has become more uniform because of long-range communications, right? But like, I think, I'm pretty sure that was a Veritissium video, Kurzgesagt or something like that. Someone researched like how far back in time could you go with your normal English pronunciation before you can't talk to anyone. And I'm pretty sure it was like somewhere before the 1600s, somewhere between the 1400s and 1600s. If you would jump in a time machine and go back, you could not talk to anyone because of the differences in accents. So different. So it wouldn't be feasible to talk to anyone. Like, no one understanding you and you understanding no one. I mean, you could learn over time, but initially, right, there would be, just like any language, right? But initially, there would be no way to talk to anybody. Let's see. Adventure 95 says, you can't pronounce the Finnish word Jyväskylä with American English pronunciation rules, because no native Finn will understand what you fucking mean. I mean, you can. I just made a terrible job of pronouncing that word. But I see your point, right? There's pronunciation that are... But that's the same thing, right? If you go to Scotland, you can't talk to anyone with a Scottish accent. They have to tone it down to be able to communicate with anyone else that is not Scottish, right? And also, I don't know about rules about pronunciation. But I agree, there are ways to pronounce something that makes it more communicative and less communicative. There's no right and wrong. There's no objectively correct way. It's just what works for communication, and that's a pragmatic view that you have right there, Adventure 95. And I do love pragmatism. But pragmatism is far, far removed from any like objective reality kind of thing, right? Pragmatism is something completely different. Banana Waffle Monkey says, be right back. And Adventure 95 really stakes his claim here. There is a correct way of pronunciation. Alright, so how do you defend that then? How could there be a correct way of pronunciation? I can't see. I mean, there is a pronunciation like that. Well, actually, there are plenty of pronunciations that are good for communication. And there are other pronunciations that are bad for communication. Like if I were to be... I'm terrible at accents myself, so I would want to try to make a terrible accent just to show this is worse for communication and this is better for communication. And those types of comparisons. And I would agree with you on that point, but there is nothing objective about that. Adventure 95 says, there are rules about pronunciation. You just clearly don't know enough about linguistics, it seems. Oh man, is that the type of argument we're doing now? Personal attacks? Is that good rhetorics, you think? You don't know enough about linguistics? I have studied linguistics in university, but I don't know. There are rules, yes, but those rules are not prescriptive. Just like grammar. Grammar rules are not prescriptive. They are descriptive. Linguistics. What is linguistics? Actually, I'm curious. Linguistics. What does this say? Linguistics is the scientific study. It is the study of language. Right? So if you study a language, then you look at the language and you describe how the language works. Therefore, it is not rules in the same that you put it, Adventure 95. They study language and they say, oh, this language looks like this. Right? That is what the linguistics do. Also, that personal attack hurt my feelings a little bit, I gotta say. Right? You clearly don't know enough about linguistics. First sentence argues against you, Adventure 95. Doesn't it? I think so. Banana Waffle Monkey, right. We have that disagreement. Banana Waffle Monkey says that grammar is prescriptive. We do have that disagreement. We've had that before. I would say that grammar is a part of linguistics. Wait, is it? Microlinguistic concepts, on the other hand, involve the analysis of grammar. Grammar is part of linguistics. So I have to say banana waffle monkey. If it's part of linguistics, then it's part of the study of the language. Can it then be? I mean, it can be used in prescriptive ways, just like pronunciations can be used in prescriptive ways. You can use them when studying, but there's nothing objectively prescriptive about them. Pragmatically, we use linguistic studies in school, for example, when learning language, and we talk about them as rules and as how one should do it for the benefit of communication. But it's all pragmatic, right? That is all pragmatism. It is a philosophical tradition that considers words and thought as tools and instruments for prediction. Oh man, this doesn't really work, does it? Problem solving and action, and rejects the idea of the function thought. It rejects the idea that the function of thought is described, present, or mirror reality. Exactly. We don't care. Pragmatists don't care about objective reality. We care about what is useful. And something that is useful is to talk about grammar in certain situations as prescriptive. For example, when studying a language, then a teacher can say, you should pronounce it like this, or they can say, you should use this grammar. In that sense, you can use it as a prescriptive. But the thing in itself, there is no objective truth to any grammar. Linguistics is the study of language. Blasphemous? Oh, hello, Blasphemous. How are you doing today? He says that, what the fuck did I just do? Alright. Press the wrong button. Social media is restrictive. I mean, a lot of stuff is restrictive, aren't they, Blasphemous? I don't really understand in this context. It's restrictive in what things you are allowed to say, I suppose. And I would agree with that statement, I think. Adventure 95 says, because each language has their own proper way to pronounce things. Oh, are you talking always in received pronunciation then, Adventure 95, when you speak English? Everything else is wrong, received pronunciation is correct, and everything else is wrong. Especially in English, I can't go and pronounce English words with the Finnish way of pronouncing them. I mean, you can, but again, it wouldn't work very well. There is no law in nature that stops you from, like, I make the example one more time. I can say water, I can say wa'a, and I can say water. I can pronounce them all those three ways. Some of them are better for communication, and some of them are worse for communication. But there is no objective reality that is stopping me physically from doing the thing. Right? Adventure 95 says, you don't hire a person to read out English news who barely can pronounce any English words correctly. Again, you're not arguing your point, Adventure 95. You're just saying, oh, it is correctly. But you're not answering any of the arguments against, like if linguistics is the study of language, then there is no correct pronunciation. I mean, you could have in school, teacher can give you a test and say that, oh, you failed the test. In that sense, you could have a correct pronunciation, but there's no objectively true pronunciation. Again, like go back 500 years and there were no one pronouncing anything like we are doing it today. So how could there be an objective reality? It just can't. Lasmus says they hire people for English customer service that can barely understand Kappa. Yeah, right. I've been working on customer service where I had to answer the phone for, English, but that wasn't a big problem. But like for Danish and Norwegian, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I answered the phone for Finnish as well. But like, there was someone assuming that I would answer in Swedish for people calling from Finland, and I'm like, no, there's no fucking way I'm answering the phone in English. There's no way I'm going in there and just saying, oh, hello, in Swedish and talking Swedish to them. That would be so fucking rude. So rude. I refused. But yeah, Norwegian and Denmark, I answered in English as well, right? There's speaking Swedish and Norwegian or Danish. It's too hard, man. It's too hard. No, last must say, by they, I especially mean Amazon. Yes, you, Twitch's owners. All right. They hire people that don't speak English. All right. I didn't even know that Twitch had a customer service. Adventure95 says it wouldn't work very well. You just said it. Pronunciation matters. Oh, I've not said anything about that, Adventure95. Of course pronunciation matters. I think pronunciation is very important, and it should be a part of learning any language to try and find a well-suited pronunciation. I agree with you on that point. I'm just saying that point that you are making is a point made from a pragmatic point of view. Like, it is useful to use a clear and understandable dialect accent pronunciation. I'm completely for that. I'm for people not murdering other people. There's no objective truth in that. It's all opinions. It's pragmatic opinions, but it's just opinions. Adventure95 says, I think you're... Yeah, we've been talking a lot about that, Adventure95. About... Like, you made the same argument yesterday about something, saying just because I say that something is not objectively true or objectively correct, you seem to assume that I have the opposite opinion from you. I don't. I'm just saying that I'm agreeing with you that pronunciation is important. There is no correct pronunciations. That's not how the world works. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. So Adventure95 says, so that means we can pronounce any word of any language in any way we want, even if the word's meanings get completely mixed up. Yes. That we can do that. I can do that. I can say, let's see, vatten. I can say it like that, talking about water again. And that would be completely useless, and I would completely argue against doing that, Adventure95. But it is possible. It is super possible. Like, I've spoken English with people, and I'm like, just sitting there staring at them and not understanding a single word that they are saying. I've been in that situation. Like speaking to someone where you are speaking the same language, or you are claiming to speaking the same language, but there is no communication because you don't understand each other. I've been in that situation in Swedish as well, right? I've talked to people in Swedish where I'm like, oh man, I don't understand a word this person is saying. I don't know how to deal with this situation. And that is an argument for having similar pronunciations for communications. Yeah. I mean, that's terrible. A terrible situation to be in. Colgate InnoTab says chat shit talking about Amazon -6 points. Only 6 points? Oh man. What's that dude? He looks like Lex Luthor, the dude who runs Amazon. Alright, will that be more? Well, that's assuming people think Lex Luthor is ugly, I suppose. So that was a terrible... Well, Lex Luthor is ugly. There we go. Blasphemous says Amazon does, not Twitch. Ah, alright. I doubt you can call Twitch. I doubt that as well. Banana Waffle Monkey says language is inherently arbitrary. Exactly, right? I call this a phone, but it could just as well been called a flurber. Flurger? I mean, it could be called anything. The word in itself doesn't have any meaning. Yeah. So language is arbitrary. Yeah, if there is one place in the world where pragmatism checks out, it's in language. It's a super pragmatic system. How it is built, how it works. Yeah. If there were an objective way to pronounce something, then every person, if that were the case, then every person living on the planet would speak the same language with the same pronunciation of every single word. But we don't have one language, we don't have one accent, we don't have one dialect. We have many different ones, and it's completely arbitrary. And I would argue that there is benefit to that as well. There are stuff when learning other languages. It's a little bit off topic, but when learning other languages, there are benefits to it, right? Because there are ideas that are more easily expressed in one language than in another language. We've been talking about that before, Banana Waffle Monkey, about different cultures and geographical different cultures. And I mean, part of that is language and expressing ideas, I suppose. Alright. Next up is adding a station of copper. Wait, how does this look? Oh man. Let's see. Blasphemous says, doesn't saying there is no objective answer kill the discussion by taking it too literal? I mean, no, Blasphemous, that is the specific discussion, right? I am agreeing with Adventure 95 that pronunciation is important and one should study. It doesn't have to be the native way necessarily. But I would agree that studying a pronunciation that works for communication, then we are in agreement. And that would kill the discussion, wouldn't it? That's the worst thing about, when you're in agreement, what is there to discuss? The disagreement we have is about the nature of language, right? And what I'm saying, just like morality, is that there can't be any objective true language pronunciation. If that makes sense, right? It's like I tend to do that quite a bit, right? Like when we're talking politics, we are often in agreement with the political issue itself. And I'm not arguing that political issue. I'm just arguing that the Lebowskian point that, well, that's just your opinion, dude. That is what I'm arguing. And it does have consequences, right? Right? And like having the idea that someone is somehow pronouncing something incorrectly, right? That was the whole attitude that's kicked off this this discussion, right? What was it? Yeah, I mean, Adventure 95 said to me, it is odd when people confidently pronounce Finnish or Japanese words wrong. I'm like, well, they're not pronouncing them wrong, and we didn't even go into that. I mean, speaking with confidence is something... Oh, hello, Skywalker. Come on. Speaking with confidence is beneficial for people, right? One could argue that for communication, well, from a rhetoric standpoint, it is more important to sound confident than to sound in like similar, having the same type of pronunciation that a native would have. Right? I know I'm speaking to like a businessman about that. There is even a benefit to having, I knew a businessman and he had a super Swedish accent when he spoke English. And he had made the concerted effort to have a super Swedish accent to make it understandable. I mean, it was understandable enough, right? So that anybody speaking English well enough could understand him. But he said it's more important to be confident, and also I can be more confident without, like, I'm confident in who I am, and I am proud to be Swedish and whatnot. So when talking to other people, he felt that he gained more confidence and therefore more power in the business meetings, if that makes sense. Right? Because one way people were speaking, like trying their best to imitate native speakers. One could argue that that is a lack of confidence in one's own accent. So you have had to feign, if that makes sense, like fake an accent. So it doesn't sound authentic. But I'm terrible at accents, but if you came to the stream tomorrow and I was just starting speaking with a Scottish accent on stream, wouldn't that be a little bit jarring? Right? Me speaking with a Scottish accent? I'm not Scottish, am I? I'm not a Scotsman. Wait, that's the way to say it, right? Scotsman? Yeah, that would be jarring. Blasphema says, if someone kept pronouncing my real name wrong, I'd probably slap them. Wrong? Alright, is that why you've been calling me Cinder McDruid over and over again? Because you think it's rude? That's a personal preference. I don't mind. I would care about if the intent were to belittle me, then I would get pissed off, yeah. But if it just came from difficulty pronouncing the word, I remember I knew this Italian guy. He was hanging out with us, a lot of Swedes, and he was pretty good at languages. He had a knack for it. So he wanted to learn Swedish, so we learned him a lot of Swedish. But there were like a couple of things that just didn't work out for him. There were a few things that he could not pronunciate. Certain sounds we had in Swedish, but that were not available in Italy. Like, you've probably seen that oftentimes in TV, right? Like a lot of Asians from the Asian countries have issues with the R's and the L's, right? Because they don't really have that type of distinction in their own language. So I don't have any R's or L's in my name, but I wouldn't get angry for them mispronouncing my name like that. Lesman says, no, I'm doing wordplay with your username. Yeah, and I do like it. Actually, parts of me thinks that it's a better name, Cinder McDruid. I think it's a little bit cooler, but hey, what are you gonna do? Yeah, right, I wouldn't get pissed off for anyone pronouncing my name. Like, if there were parts of my name that someone from another language background couldn't pronunciate. What is it? Yeah, like we Swedes often hear and get flack for pronouncing the word joke. We don't pronounce it like that. We pronounce it yoke. Then people laugh at us, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I probably, if I don't think about it, I probably pronounce it yoke when talking about a joke, because we don't have the G sound in Swedish. But if you had a name with, I don't know, Jerry, I'm not sure which sound it is. But I would assume that you wouldn't get angry at me and slap me for not being able to make that sound? That would make me sad. Like, but I can't do it. I mean, I'm trying, but I can't. You start slapping me? That's a little bit rude. Yeah, rude. Well, I suppose slapping people in general is probably considered rude. Golget says, we don't have the z in Finnish either. Yeah, the D3 sound, yeah. Blasphemous says, someone from your own country that speaks the same language. Who you've corrected before. Yeah, I mean, exactly, it's about intent then, right? If they're trying to belittle you or make you smaller in some kind of way, I could see people doing that, right? Trying to make you smaller by just, oh, I don't care about you enough to say your name correctly. Well, I've seen it happen on TV, right? So it must happen in real life. I've never seen it happen in real life, but I can imagine that it does. Right? People trying to what's that word? Yeah, trying to be powerful, right? Trying to manipulate you. Yeah. I can see that problem. And I'm not a violent person. I would probably say, "Hey dude, can you please pronounce my name correctly?" Rather than slapping them, I would just fuck you too then. Fighting fire with fire, maybe. There's no copper over here. That is sad. Ooh, I can go this way though. Yeah. Let's check over here. I haven't even been over here yet. And then again, there's probably different ways to pronounce your name that you haven't thought about, right? If you would go have like a go way north and have a Canadian pronounce your name, or if you would go way south and have like a Texan pronounce your name, they would probably do it a little bit differently. And maybe you wouldn't even notice the difference. Isn't that possible, Blasphemous? Blasphemous says, in that case, there is a right or wrong way to pronounce it. Yeah, it's like again, but that's a pragmatic argument again, isn't it? It's part of communication. Part of not being a dick. Like it's even an ethics discussion rather than a linguistic, like, yeah. It's not a discussion about linguistics. Not in that sense, right? We're talking about something else. Ooh, can I just walk over the water? Nope. Right, and if you want to use those words, right and wrong, in that situation, I mean, that's fine. Personally, I don't like to use those languages because it kind of implies. That's my reading of the word. It implies the linguistic correctness of the thing. If that makes sense? That is why I'm arguing against it, right? Over here, we can go over here. Oh, that's fine. Perfect. I have a plan. Know where to go. Just like I would argue that pronouncing water like vatter is not helpful to anyone, and I would argue against anyone pronouncing it like that, because, well, it doesn't help anyone. It's just confusing. Spiders in the way. Let's get some more of these. Oh, actually, yeah, it's to the infinite. Probably gonna build plenty of these, so let's bring a lot of them. A lot of them. Oops, not that many. These many. Oop. Running out of battery. That's not good. But that, I mean, yeah, in that sense, you are the ultimate arbiter of what is considered right or wrong in pronouncing your name, right? There's no objectivity in it. It's just what you decide. And I would get behind the idea that any person would be that arbiter, right? I decide how my name is pronounced. Like a lot of people, like from most countries, have difficulties pronouncing my name. I'm usually a little bit of a dick about it. But I oftentimes go the route that like a lot of people with my name from Sweden, when they go abroad, they just say that their name is Matthew because people know how to pronounce Matthew. That is not my Swedish given name. My Swedish given name is Matthias. And if people have problems pronouncing that, that's their problem. But usually I'm a little bit of a dick about it and make them practice saying it over and over. Depending on the context, of course. I'm not always doing that, but I've been known to do it. More times than one I've done that. Because I would want them to use my name indeed. They're so slow. Should have waited for them, the bots. Colgate InnoTab says, you say Matthew is easier than Matthias. For England, for people that does not come from our place, right? From like Germans can say it easily enough. Finnish people, I'm guessing, and Norwegians and Danish people and stuff like that. But like the British and Americans and other languages, like Matthew is a fairly common name, like Matthew McConaughey or whatever. So from people who knows that type of English, it becomes easier for them to say Matthew. So therefore, a lot of Swedes with my name, or others, I suppose, would introduce themselves as Matthew, yes. I've seen that happen plenty of time. And that, I would say that is kind of a lack of confidence thing, right? Like there's a lot of shame in Sweden put around onto pronunciations. So a lot of Swedes that speak English fairly well, they don't do it because they're embarrassed about their accent and pronunciations. And I feel that is sad. Like you can speak with confidence within your own accent, right? Everybody has their own accent. Like my accent is nothing like the Jamaican accent, for example. I would know, like, but from the perspective that we're talking about, like if there is a right and a wrong way to speak, then all the Jamaicans would be using the wrong accent, wouldn't they? And that doesn't work out for me. It just doesn't work out for me. That kind of view of it. Lasma says, would you expect that most people from your country should be able to pronounce that name, or at least get it real close? Yeah. Right? Same with, like I said, I'm expecting that most Germans, Danish, Norwegian, probably around Switzerland and stuff like that. And I'm assuming Finland as well probably works out just fine. But then again, I mean, we have different accents, so the pronunciation is a little bit different from mine. But that doesn't bother me. But they pronounce it like they say it within their accent rather than my accent. It's close enough, right? Ugh. But again, Blasphemous, just to reiterate, I'm completely in agreement with your point, right? That people, like, no matter what language they come from or whatever, they can make that dick move, right? Where they, yeah, just make that dick move. Intentionally mispronouncing your name. And that would piss me off. But I would never assume that, right? Like you said, they would have had to been corrected first. I would never assume that without first making the effort to correct someone, if it bothered me. Maybe it wouldn't bother me, I don't know. Ooh, Blasphemous. And before I forget, Stallman is back with the Free Software Foundation. Oh, nice. That didn't last long. Don't think. We need to... Alright. I don't know how this works. I would want to upgrade specific items. Not all of them, just specific ones. Can I just do this? No. Upgrade items and entities in the blueprint. I mean, this is just upgrading everything, right? I don't want that. I don't want to upgrade everything. Can I like click this and upgrade this? Right click, remove all components. Left click to add components back. That's not what I want. Blasphemous says, it must be thanks to that discussion we had on him the other day. Sarcasm. Yeah, right. We won't see that happening anytime soon. I'm guessing that he does valuable work for the foundation, right? It's just, as we said, right? It's a bad look for him having like making that argument. It doesn't say anything about the argument itself. It's just bad optics. Oh, wait, actually I can just do this and recopy the thing, right? Whoops. What the fuck? Where is that thing there? Yeah, it's bad optics for him to have that. So maybe he's back with. I'm assuming he's back with at a different. What's that called? At a different position. I'm assuming. Right, we need one of these. Where's it at? Alright, now we can make a new blueprint. We can... Yep, I can remove this blueprint. And I can make a new one. Like this. And we create that blueprint. And we put it in here. Perfect. Now we start cutting this forest down. And we start building these. Alrighty then. Then we just copy this and oh, what's happening? I mean, from the only thing that I've read from him, Stallman seems like I've seen some meme images from him, right? About him, and I find that funny. But from what I've read from his actual words, he seems like a super reasonable dude. Maybe not the best person to have in... Yeah, like... Marketing might not be his strong suit, if that makes sense. can see value in ethical discussions and stuff like that, but marketing? Perhaps not. Perhaps not. And that's fine, right? I'm not very good at marketing either. Not everybody has to be. Well, one would think everyone had to be, but sometimes, in some situations, right? Like, for example, Colgate InnoTap going to a job interview. Job interviews, that's a great spot to be good at marketing. Like, you're at a disadvantage if you are not, unfortunately. Yeah, come. Man, I wonder if I have given him some food? Yeah, food. He has food, but I don't know if he has water. Did I double check that? Nah, he can live without water for... what, like an hour? Hour and a half? Oh man, if I was thirsty though, I wouldn't want to go an hour and a half without water. So I'm gonna go and fix that, I suppose. Alright. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go fix his water. Yep. No water indeed. But it's fixed. Alright, are we good here? Missed a bit. Should I remake the blueprint? Just because? No, this is fine. So, where are we at? We are at southeast 3 then? Damn it. My naming conventions break. Nah, it's fine. Southeast 3. Ooh, need some power over here. Some over here, and... wait. Alright. And a train. We need a train. It's here, right? One. Oh. Oh, but this is fine. We can just set the train up there. Oh, almost forgot. Always put the radar. That actually should be part of the blueprint, I think. Yeah, having a radar like that. Let's hope our battery will last all the way home. Ooh. Actually, can I just... No, I don't want to pick that up. I was thinking I could just jump into a train. Grab this stuff with me, but nah. Let's just run. Well, jog. Who's the fastest? I am still a little bit faster than the spider, which... I feel like that is a little bit of an oversight. Like, the spider is already wobbly and that's a little bit annoying. I feel that the spider should be a little bit faster. I mean, the spider becomes faster when you play with the biters, because if you play with biters, this is not a setup that you will use for your suit, right? Indeed not. You know what? I had an idea. Right here, when we look here, all the stations have the same name. Like we have 4 stations right here with the same name. And they pick the free station with the name, right? That's what the trains do. Is there any good reason why we could not do the same thing down here and name this copper, this copper, this copper, all the same name? Wouldn't that be way easier to manage if they just make the choice, right? So in that sense, we could make them, name them all just S for south and all of these N for north. That probably does work. So yeah, removing the numbers. This can also, well, yeah. Let's try that out. I'm pretty sure I can rename like this without problem, like just South Copper. And same here. Rename you to South Copper. Same here. And you become South Iron. Oh. Yeah, and it becomes much easier to look this out because we have 3 Southworld stations. Oh, manually stopped. All right, yeah. Right, because we only have 2 stations. I see that here. Since I only have 2 stations, it makes sense that I have 2 trains and 1 manually stopped. So 3 trains. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I like this. Do like this. And we can just name you... Hope this works now. It probably works. Oh, screwed this up though. North Copper. Alright, now these work as well, right? Yep. Alright, so we've got 3 stops. And we have this drop. We've got 4 stops. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That means we should be able to put an extra train. Where? What's this? Oh, that's the electric pole. Ah, here it is. This is the drop copper. Wait, this is the drop copper, yeah. And I should be able to just take this train, put it right here. 3, 4. Now I can just do this, right? Because you go to North Copper, then you go and drop off copper, then you go to South Copper, and then you drop off copper. Perfect. And there we go. Lovely. Lovely stuff. Oh. And forget to bring the spider. Right, this mess. I'm thinking all of this mess should be upgraded. Bless this mess. All right. Still not enough, eh? Can look at all these trains, right? Have you? Oh, okay. Damn it. That is an issue. Why did you go over here? That is so sad. Why didn't he go over here? Is it not smart enough? It didn't go down here either. It just went to the closest one, eh? Wait. The train limit is just for this stop, right? Or is it for all of them? Let's see. We have one train limit here. And then we go over here, and this one, no. So we just put one train limit on all of them. And if we do that, it should be working, I think. Oops. Right. That is way better. Probably need to drag a train over here to get some more iron later on, but now let's see. We've got one there, no one there, and one there. Wait, do I only have... Didn't I set the fourth? That's iron. That's copper. Yeah, we got 4 trains. 1, 2. Alright, and... Wait, why are you still waiting? Oh, because you're emptying. Of course. Now you're emptying. Actually, I think it's time to upgrade these as well. And... Oof, that scared the shit out of me. Well, we know now that bot will not get hit by trains. This is good news. Upgrade this as well. Oh, I'm all out. We can craft some more of these. Yeah, give me all this stuff. Alright, so what's iron over here still looks terrible. Well, it's gonna take some time before it propagates, I suppose. I'm guessing then the things that eat are all these. Well, I can actually... I don't need all the modules right now, I don't think. What do I need for the rocket? I need... We do have low density structure. We're doing that. And we need rocket control units, which is the speed modules. And that's full. So... Like I can just make a cut right here. And I can make a cut right... Actually, let's make the... Let's make the cut right... Well, that's actually even better. I made a cut here. They're all coming this way, right? So I can just make the cut right here. No. Let's make this. Or even here, maybe. No, this is probably fine. This is probably store. Adventure 95 says, was at the store, now I'm back. Oh, nice. Welcome back. Hope everything went all right. You got the stuff you were looking for? Indeed. Adventure 95 says, does it hurt if I punch someone? I've seen on TV that you're supposed to like hold a lighter or something in your fist. Like to stabilize your fist. Like something to make it hurt less. But I wouldn't know personally from personal experience, but that is what I've heard. But I would assume that even when doing that, it would hurt your fist, right? If it hurts their face, then it's an equal and opposite force against your fist, and that would probably hurt. I mean, I suppose it would depend how much force you would use as well. Many different aspects to it. Alright, so let's cut this. Yeah, I need blue circuit production is what I need. And for that I need more greens. This is the problem, and this is the problem because copper is the problem. But I think with all the cuts that I just made, I think this will start evening out and working a little bit better. Does this look? And these are still empty. Wait. Oh, maybe I need to make some upgrades here. Yeah, let's upgrade this shit. Upgrade all of the things. Adventure 95 says, but pain is subjective, right? I mean, it is a fact that people feel pain, but whatever pain you are feeling is subjective, right? Only you can be the judge of if something hurts. Like, if you step on a Lego, for example, I live with the assumption that you are feeling pain. But the only one that can judge and say if you feel any pain is you, right? You've probably seen that scale on TV that doctors use. Like a 1 to 10, how much does it hurt? That's because they don't know how much it hurts you. You have to tell them. Therefore, they have a mode of communication to do that. Yeah. But I would probably say that, right? Because that's your experience. And anyone else can't really be the judge of your experience, I think. No. Pain is completely objective, even other people's pain. I mean, it is a fact, objective fact, that people feel pain. And I mean, there has been studies that shows that, well, when these receptors in the brain, well, these neurons in the brain fire, that is the pain response. And that happens for, as far as we know, all people, right? So pain in that sense is something objective. It is something that exists, that has been studied. I would agree with that. But however, what the experience, I think the philosophical word for it is qualia. In philosophy and certain models of psychology, qualia are defined as individual instances of subjective conscious experience. I mean, your actual experience, the one that you have, is subjective. If that makes sense. So your pain is subjective, but pain in general is a fact. I would have to agree with that, right? That we are in, science is in agreement that when you step on a Lego, that will hurt, and everybody who steps on a Lego will feel pain. I'm pretty sure that is how it works. I have not studied pain, like I've not read up about pain enough, but I would assume that is the case, right? Objective pain, yes indeed. Adventure 95 says everything could be a simulation and pain could be a part of the simulation. Yep, could be. So there is an objective feeling, pain. Well, that's an interesting point. Is the feeling objective? Or is it just a fact that everybody feels this feeling? That everybody can feel pain? I mean, that's the problem of qualia, right? This here. Pain would be considered a qualia, right? And in philosophy, we have these. They are defined as individual instances of subjective conscious experience. We know for a fact that people feel pain, and we know also I'm pretty sure about that. I have not studied medicine and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure that there are people who do not experience pain. Like something went wrong. Well, not wrong, but their brain is functioning. Their neurons fire a little bit different, so they don't have the experience of pain. They cannot relate to feeling pain at all. Like they can break their leg and not tell anyone because they don't feel it as a painful experience. But in psychology, we do talk about pain, right? And I remember even reading that there has been studies that have shown that psychological pain, like if someone is mean to you, is very similar to the physical pain that we feel. And it's very similar indeed, which is quite interesting. I find that quite interesting indeed. That like the pain of rejection and people being mean to you is similar to... I mean, I would not have made that claim myself. Like I wouldn't have thought those pains were similar. But there's similar pathways in the brain that happens. I don't know what to make of that. It doesn't feel the same. Like my qualia of the two different pains are way different in my experience. I don't know. But would you agree with that, adventurer, that there is like we do know that people has qualia, people have feelings and they report similar feelings. But the feeling itself, I mean, you can, that's like high school philosophy, right? How do you know that my experience from seeing the color red is the same as your experience when you see the color red? That's the basis for skepticism, isn't it? Oh man, how do you spell this? Skepticism. Alright, can you spell for me? Oh, it's a K. Of course it's a K when I guess on a C. Philosophical skepticism. Skepticism is a family of philosophical views that questions the possibility of knowledge or certainty. Well, it's not quite the same, but I can never know what you think or what you feel. I can only know what you report. So if you report that you are feeling pain, then I can only go from my own experiences of what I would consider to be pain and assume that your feeling is the feeling that I have felt before. And I would argue that that is a fair assumption to make, and it's an easy assumption to make, that like since you're a person and you function in the same way, like from all the studies that people have done, we seem to function in a very similar manner. If that checks out. Colgate on Tap asks, what was that food anime you recommended yesterday? I forgot to write it up. Toriko, says Adventure95, and Colgate on Tap says thanks. And then he says, I spelt it abolishing class structures. Actually, I was thinking about that the other day. We were talking about your friend, right, with the destructive USB or whatever. And I was thinking why I got a little bit triggered by that. You probably noticed. A little bit triggered. And I was thinking about why do I get triggered by something like that? And I found that interesting. And I came to this thesis that I think that when I dislike arguments for destruction, and I have a preference for arguments that argue for building something up, right? I'm not very impressed about abolishing class structure, for example. Like, what do you want to build? What would you want to have in its place? Right? That is, I find that more interesting. I think that's the thesis I have at the moment, that is the way I work. That I find that more interesting. Maybe. And that makes sense, right? Actually, it was quite fun because my father had a similar experience. He had a, there was like an art exhibition out in the forest where he had built like, not really sculptures. Yeah, sculptures, let's call them that. Well, installations. Let's call them art installations out in the forest. They had a forest path and a lot of people. You would have loved it, Colgate on Tap. A lot of leftist propaganda within this art installation. Very nice. Very nice indeed. I kind of enjoyed it. But it has been up for like quite a while, and he was out there and tearing it down yesterday. So he came home and he said he got a little anxiety from, like, it was so much work. I remember I was there helping him install it. But now he just ripped it down, and we spent like days on installing it and making it be out there. Now it was just one day. It was super easy to tear it down. to just rip it down, tear it down. He felt a little bit of anxiety about that. So that's why I went to that headspace, right? That maybe I have that same, I've inherited that attitude from my father that, well, building something is difficult. Tearing something down is easy. Therefore, I'm not really impressed about tearing stuff down, I suppose. I don't know. What an interesting thought I had. Actually, it made me think about that. We had to talk about world building as well. And I'm more... Like we were talking, me and Adventure 95, right? We were talking about world building and about how one can build a... Yeah. That's actually a little bit similar, right? We were talking about hard fantasy systems that are way more difficult to construct. While having a soft fantasy, well, I mean, I'm guessing we were showing our biases, and there are probably more benefits to soft fantasy systems than we would argue, but that's like you don't have to build anything when you have a soft fantasy system. So not as easily impressed. It's not constructing anything, it's just Deus Ex Machina. It's just tearing down the consistent rules of what you're writing, kinda. That would make sense why I would have that perspective against hard fantasy, I suppose. Adventure 95 says, but my words on pain could be subjective claims on me feeling pain, could be an illusion. Well, even if it is an illusion, it is a fact that you are reporting feeling pain. Right? Just because it is an illusion does not make it a real experience, right? You are still having... Oh, where did I go? Qualia. You're still having a qualia, and that qualia is a real thing. Right? You're still having the experience of pain. Whether the... I mean, one could argue that your feeling of pain is an illusion, right? Because... What is pain, right? If I pinch myself like this, oh, fuck, that hurt. My experience of what happened and what actually happened, how physics would describe what happened, is completely different, right? They're completely different things. But that doesn't make my experience not happen. It's just a different part of reality. That makes sense. And my experience is real. That's old philosophy. Cogito ergo sum. René Descartes said, I think therefore I am, right? My experience is real. I cannot doubt that. Yeah. So even though it would be an illusion, it would still be real. Right? I'm not a religious person, right? I don't think that there exists a God objectively, so to speak. However, I'm also very fast to argue that, of course, God exists and is a real thing. I mean, God has many buildings than I have, and has way more influence than I have on reality. So saying that God is not real... it doesn't really work out because of, well, he's like God has more power than me. I'm just arguing that God is a construct, an abstract construct created by humans rather than the other way around. That makes sense. And that I would claim that God thing, like people speaking to God and stuff like that, I would argue those were illusions. Those experiences were still real. They still had the experiences. Alright, Colgate Unotap says, then it is spelt building a society without socioeconomical classes. Yeah, but what does that look like, Colgating on Tap? You're still using the word without. You're taking something away. What are you adding, Colgating on Tap? And I think, I'm not aware, I haven't thought this through or studied it, but I think that the act of adding stuff probably leads to better rhetoric, political debates, well, trying to convince people of your views, I think becomes easier when you're trying to build something rather than trying to tear something down. That's the perspective I had yesterday as well, right? That I think people are more inclined, like if you have a positive approach, that is usually a good way to approach trying to convince people, right? Those are not based on any knowledge, or like I don't remember reading about that in, oh wait, no, let's do this, in rhetoric, when I studied rhetoric or whatever. I mean, I do know that they have studied behaviorism, and they've said about behaviorism that it like positive reinforcements tend to be more work better than negative reinforcement. Rewards tend to be better than punishments, and I could probably make some sort of comparison there, but it's wobbly at best. That comparison, I think. Adventure 95 says, how do you know it's a fact that I'm reporting that I'm feeling pain? It could be an illusion and completely subjective. Yeah, right. And that's my pragmatism view, right? When we're talking about objective, right? That's the whole point of I left skepticism behind. All right. The whole point of skepticism, I mean, skepticism, like there's problems with skepticism, but it's acknowledged, right? Skepticism, wait, no, here we go. Like that's the argument you're making, right? This is the skepticism argument, and that is acknowledged throughout philosophy and science, right? That we can't ever know. We don't know. And that's like what you're saying, right? It could be an illusion. It could not be happening. That is the point of skepticism. And I mean, science is built around this idea, right? Science doesn't really claim objectivity. It strives towards objectivity. It doesn't claim objectivity. It strives towards it, if that makes sense. And by the way it's doing that, it's by empiricism. Like if enough people report seeing the same thing happen, then we claim that is a fact. And then we make the assumption that thing is happening. For example, gravity. Like everybody has seen gravity in action, right? And since everybody has seen gravity in action, and like we make rigorous experiments where we came to the same conclusion, this is what's happening, then we say this is a fact. That is something that is happening. But that comes from empiricism, right? Here we go. Empiricism. Enough people are claiming that they see this happening. And then we make rationality here. We try to explain why does this happen. And then we build a theory, right? The theory of gravity. That is built. But then again, right, it still comes to the thing that enough people have to agree about this theory for it to be accepted as a theory. It starts out as a hypothesis. They have this idea, it could be this. And then they try it out, and then they rationalize and argue for that idea. And when enough people agree that this theory checks out, it works, the theory of gravity, it checks out, it works. So then, what is this enough people I'm talking about? I've been saying that both about empiricism. Enough people has to see it, and enough people has to be convinced by the rationale behind it. And that enough people, that is the pragmatic approach of science. If enough people agree, then and we find it useful, if enough people find this explanation useful, then we say, oh well, these are facts and theories about the world, and that is, we make the assumption that since enough people do agree, then we say this is the best explanation we have of reality at this point. And it is a very complicated process. But that is the way we try to work towards objectively, right? We move away from what the one individual say or what the two individuals say. And we try to build systems that generates answers, and anybody who uses the system comes up with the same answer. And that is the strive for objectivity, right? And those are the facts. But yeah, the argument you made, the skepticism argument, it's widely accepted, right? We don't know. We can't be certain. Yeah. Colgatinotype says, yeah, math is not science. Yeah, no, it's not. It's another kind of system. Science uses a lot of math, but math is not science. I agree with that. Adventure 95 says but couldn't killing certain people be factually correct if enough people agreed that it is the right to kill someone? The fact would be that all the people agree that killing these people, I mean, it would be a fact about the people. It would not be a fact about a moral statement. Right? That's what we've been talking about. You can't derive aught from an S. I had a quick, dirty example of Hume's guillotine that I was thinking about. Right? Let's say I make the claim murder is wrong. Let's say I make that claim. Actually, yeah, I can make that claim. Murder is wrong. So then we ask, so why is murder wrong? What is the rationale? What arguments are there for making that claim that murder is wrong? I mean, I made that claim, so what reasons do I have to make that claim? Well, because they die could be one argument, right? It could be one way of looking at it, all right? Because they die. So what is bad about people dying? Right. It's my opinion. I don't like people dying. Alright, so that doesn't work. Because that's a subjective value judgment. Alright, so let's try another way. Let's try to say it's bad because it causes suffering from the people left behind. I mean, that is a fact, right? People report suffering. People feel bad when their close ones die. That is something we can be in agreement with. That is something that's a fact about the world. But then again, oh well, so why is suffering bad? Well, it's because I don't like people suffering. So that's again a subjective value judgment. So anytime that you talk about ethics or morality, it always ends up being, well, it's because I don't like this. You always end up with an I when you do that analysis, like what is happening behind the scenes. It's always well, I think, I feel, I believe. There's always something like that in any statement about any murder. And you can make a statement that, well, all these people agree to this. And I mean, that is what we do, right? That's part of how democracy works. It's that, well, all these people said that they feel this way about that question. And that is what then becomes the law, right? It doesn't necessarily always happen that way, but that is the way we try to do it, I suppose. Let's see. Adventure 95 says so there can be a fact about moral agreement. Yeah, right? It's a fact that most people would agree to the statement that genocide is bad. Most people, well, I have not studied this, so I don't have the statistics. I don't know, but we could put a truth or false value on that statement, right? I can say most people don't like genocide, don't want genocide. I could say that, and we could use a system of statistics to make sure and figure out if that statement is true or not, right? We can say that it's a fact or it's not a fact. Yeah, we can say those things. Blasphemous says, speaking of death. Nice. Yeah, you did tell me. Oh, did you hear anything else about it? Blasphemous are telling us about probably his neighbor from downstairs was the guess from yesterday, right? It was the thesis from yesterday. Did you figure out who it was who died? Let's see. Adventure 95 says, so suffering is an objective fact. No, well, that's what I was trying to say. It's a fact. It's not an objective fact, right? Like, from the skepticism is widely accepted, right? And if you accept the skepticism argument, what argument you made, then objective is not a real thing. It's not a real thing. Not really. It's all then all becomes a matter of perspective. So it depends on what perspective you take. But suffering is a fact. People suffer, that is a fact. We've studied that from psychology, for example. Psychology has studied suffering. Yeah. If you do this to a person, that person will feel bad. And I'm pretty sure that we could make the statement without any issue. That we could say that when a person steps on a Lego, well, no. Most people who steps on Legos will feel pain. I'm pretty sure that is a safe statement to make from a scientific standpoint, right? This is one way of looking at the world. And the way I am presenting the world right now, there's I tend to like the scientific approach and the methods generated by science with the empiricism and the rationality and the pragmatism. But there is there's nothing that says that you have to agree with me that is the best way to view reality. Like, religious people often would not agree with that view of reality, right? Because my method does not come to the same conclusions that reading the Bible does, right? Like I was talking about God earlier, and most religious people would disagree with those types of conclusions that I would draw there. So, yeah. And that's the point about skepticism, right? If you accept skepticism, which I do, like philosophically, then you would also have to accept that we cannot reach objective statements aren't really a thing. We can talk about facts and theories, but facts and theories are not objectively true. They're just a system for deciding what's true or not. Just like people can have other systems. If that makes sense, Adventure 95. Blasphemous says that, yeah, I found out that it really was the guy that lived right below me. He's been dead there for about a week. Did you hear what happened? And Blasphemous says, if I step on a Lego with my shoe, it will not hurt me. Well, yeah, right. I'm assuming you're barefoot in my thought experiment. Was it a thought experiment? With my example. Barefoot. And I mean, it's not... And I said also most people, right? Because the statement has to be most people. Because I'm pretty sure there are... I'm pretty sure that that is a real thing. People not experiencing pain. I'm fairly certain that that is a thing that happens. So the factual statement would be most people, right? Oh, right. And actually, most of science are not deductions, right? They are inductions. And then the statements become most people, most likely, rather than deductions become the true or false statements, I think. If I remember correctly. Yeah, it's interesting and fucking difficult is what it is. What's happening here? 10:30. Alright, more throughput. More throughput. Hope this will not screw up my electricity. That would make me a little bit sad. No, sad is an overstatement. Would not like it. Yeah, there's plenty of what is that? What am I looking for? Like these relatively new... like language is old, right? We've been speaking languages and expressing ourselves in certain ways for millennia and millennia, right? And a lot of fairly fresh, like if you're speaking in thousands of years, like skepticism is a fairly new idea. And it has not propagated throughout humanity yet, right? And skepticism is not super easy to wrap your mind around the consequences of what that actually means for you and for everybody else and so on and so forth, right? It's not super easy. And it's certainly not obvious. Like, there's no such thing as simple logic, right? These are all hard things to talk about, and trying to find, and our languages are not very well suited for doing this. And our brains are not very well suited for doing this. Like, our brains are not... We're not born rational beings, we're born emotional beings, right? It becomes difficult. Difficult indeed. Alright, let's up this as well. Damn it. Oh, I've got way too many red belts. Let's get rid of them. Clean it up. All right. All right. What is this looking like? Nope, we can still get more. Hmm. So how did you feel about that? That guy dying, Blasphemous? Did it somehow affect you, like emotionally, and like, ooh, death is closer than you think, or was it just like, oh, people die? It's just, fuck, I'm looking for that word again. Not exciting. It was like, yeah, exciting news, but there is a better word. Exciting seems like it will, sounds like I would assume that it was a good thing that dude died, and that's not what I'm trying to say. Exciting that it's like exciting your emotions. Yeah, getting emotional reactions. I haven't had a neighbor die for a long time. Since I was a kid, and when I was a kid, I'm pretty sure when a neighbor died, I got some emotional reaction out of that. Hmm. But I wouldn't really see myself getting that reaction today if I heard a neighbor died. Well, I don't even greet my neighbors. I'm terrible like that. Hmm. I don't need 200 engine units. Yeah, not 200. We can go down to... something like this. That's probably fine. Hmm. Plasma says, well, besides for being next floor above, well, besides for being the next floor above a corpse for a week, not much. Actually, now that I think about death, last significant death in my life was probably Total Biscuit. And that is kind of weird. Like, some dude I never met, never talked to. I had an emotional reaction from that. I got fairly sad over that. I still end up missing Total Biscuit from time to time. It's a weird experience. Alright, how is our power doing? Looking just fine. Oh yeah, that's that parasocial relationship, right? Oh man, I got hyped about the Wheel of Time TV series again yesterday as well. Been talking about that. Talking about fantasy books and all that. That was the latest. I mean, I listened to all the audiobooks, which I do recommend highly. And just wanting to... Just hoping that they won't screw it up. Amazon, I mean. Right, it's looking way better now. Can still upgrade all of these. Where's the spider? Here's the spider. I want to run up and see what it looks like up here. We can probably make this upgrade, yeah. I mean, it's looking all right. We're getting all right by this. We did make some changes up here. Probably a good idea to just put that there. Alright, how does this look? Here it's a problem of iron, right? And I'm pretty sure we don't have an iron problem. Yeah. Nice. That is beautiful. Build all the things. Nice. We can upgrade this as well. Upgrade this as well. Oh, beautiful. Should I extend this? These here, like, aren't working a lot. So the belt is completely saturated. Actually, let's upgrade movement here. Upgrade all the things. Time do we have? Oh. Alright, I wonder... Probably no rocket tomorrow. Yeah. I mean, I've only done preparatory work today. Pretty much. Yeah. Like, I haven't... I think the low density structure thing is alright. I could fix that before going over to Night in the Woods. Where is those though? Up here? Here we go. Low density structures. Could just extend this if needed. It's probably needed. I can fix this, so we've got 2 out of the 3 parts prepared for the rocket. Then perhaps we're getting close to the rocket tomorrow. Alright, so we just grab this whole thing. And we double up. Oh, first we just remove these, and then we double up. That's it, right? Alright. Alright, doubled up. It's just that from over here, turn it around and go this way. Yep. That is the plan. Probably upgrade these things. Alright, so we just follow this straight line. Going through here seems annoying. Maybe we go over here and go through here. Then go over here and... Yeah, let's go outside of the stations. We can build some landfill right here and... Yeah, I like this. That is the plan. Oops, and... Here, right? Yep. Like this and like that. Oh, stopped perfectly. Nice. Then... probably turn immediately. Nope. Ah, damn it. Here we go. And we come right here. Probably not a passive provider chest there now. Maybe a buffer chest? Or maybe just a requester chest. Probably the same here as well, requester chests. Alright. We have 2 out of 3 things here. Even though that production speed is horrible. Look, it's barely moving at all. Let's go check. See if we can upgrade some belts and make that faster. Right, where's... Ah, right. It's just north of this part. Here we go. Yeah, probably upgrading all this is a good idea. Oh man, did you see that? It auto-saved and it lagged behind a little bit, so it didn't register my upgrade thing. Oh man, that sucks. Alright, look at this. I think this is good enough. We can just... Well, since I'm not doing any sciencey stuff, if this belt gets saturated, which it did, we can just flip this around from here. Actually, I can probably do even better than that. Something like this. To make sure all of the stuff ends up by the rocket. And we can upgrade all of these from blue to green. Actually, I can do that right now. Upgrade all of these and upgrade all of these. And again, the copper is the issue then. Wonder if... Yeah, no, it's not the input. Well... No, it's not the input, it's the smelting. So probably what we can do is that we can cut that one. And we will get even more problems with the copper in a while. Let's just use all this coal. Use some of the coal and fix the rest of the... Actually, let's run down and stand there. So tomorrow I'll fix that. Fix some copper. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, that's interesting. I remember, right, playing this game. Memories of this game. Like my smelting area being way bigger than this. Way bigger. Like, I only have like 1, 2, 3 iron, 1 steel, and 2 copper. 2 copper, I mean, a third copper would probably help us out soon enough. But we can upgrade this first. But I remember having way more than this smelting to reach this part of the game. There has been some rebalancing. Some buffed smelting, I think. Well, reduced uses of resources. Nope, I don't have a radar here. These are still, well... These are fucked as usual, the modules. Modules take so many resources. It's insane. Does this look? Yeah, we're running out of green immediately. And that's because of the copper. Yep, the copper is the issue. Alright. Save game. Right in the woods. Alright, I need to make somehow fix the script so it doesn't react to not having anything running, right? Because when I now start A Night in the Woods, the script will trigger again.